San Antonio starts right now.
The death toll keeps climbing in Turkey and Syria following that major earthquake. It's up to more than 5,000 people this morning. We have an update on the search and rescue efforts.
And here at home, everything's setting the stage for kind of a dreary day weather-wise around here. As we take a look at some morning clouds over the I-10-410 interchange on the city's northwest side. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, February 7th.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good Monday, but at least it's kind of mild for now.
That's right. It is fairly mild out there. The question for Mike Osterhage as we say good morning is, when do we need that umbrella?
Grab it now. I mean, I actually had a couple of sprinkles. I don't know if you
remind me to get my umbrella now.
I will. Go get your umbrella.
Yeah, I walked outside. I was like, was that spring? You know, it's just like the one or two of them out there, nothing on the windshield.
I saw a little drizzle coming in this morning, but it just didn't last very long.
No, and that's what's going to be the case this morning. Then we'll start to see a few more showers kind of developing as the day rolls on, and then tonight. So, yeah, if you're heading out the door, just keep it with you because you'll need it by later on today. Not bad out there by 10 at 410. 64 degrees. We are just about at the normal high temperature right now. Very, very consistent temperatures. Not much of a variation here or there. All this humidity really went up. And these numbers, once again, dew points and air temperatures are running neck and neck. But we do have a bit more of a breeze this morning. So I think that's helping with not seeing any fog. Just keep a lookout for some fog out there, obviously, as well as some of this mist. Mountain Cedar is on the moderate side, mold low, ash is on the low side as well. And throughout the rest of the morning, you know, a little bit of mist here and there, maybe a patch of fog. Temperatures are going to be hovering upper 50s, low 60s, and then showers and a couple of thunderstorms hanging around here. And that's going to be the situation then in the overnight hours as well. And some of those storms may be on the strong to potentially severe side, especially the further east you go. We still have this threat for an isolated strong to severe storm in some of our extreme eastern counties, but the majority of those would be further off to the east. After that, we clear on out, and then fronts moving through tonight. Another stronger front moves through to finish up the week. Details on that in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Mike, thank you very much. If you have no to low water pressure right now and live near the St. Mary's Strip, it's because San Antonio Water System, or SAWS, is fixing a water main break in that area.
Sarah Costa joins us live to explain when that problem will be fixed. Good morning. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Good morning, Mark and Steph. And hopefully within the half hour, SAWS has been working on this water main break since 9 last night. This is not just creating water issues for some businesses and homes in the area, but more traffic issues on top of that ongoing road construction in that area. San Antonio Water System says crews are doing emergency repair work there. The road will be closed through 6 a.m. So if you plan to be in the area before then, just look for an alternate route. But here's a better look at the area that is impacted. Last night, SAWS tweeted out this map. That area in yellow are the homes and businesses that may be experiencing no to low water pressure right now. This is specifically along the intersection of North St. Mary Street and Mistletoe. If you look at that map of those impacted areas, those living along St. Mary's, Woodlawn, and Craig's Place are also most likely experiencing no water or very low water pressure. This area is near Tycoon Flats, to give you guys a better indicator where on St. Mary's this is happening. So this area also won't have access to that running water until 5, so hopefully within the next 30 minutes, but crews hope to have that open back up to traffic by 6 a.m. Mark, Steph.
Sarah, thank you. 4:33 now to the disaster unfolding overseas. The most devastating earthquake in a century and its aftershocks hitting Turkey and Syria. More than 5,000 people are confirmed dead this morning.
And as ABC's Lionel Moyes reports, the weather is now hampering the frantic search for survivors trapped beneath the rubble of thousands of buildings.
This morning, a desperate search and rescue effort in Turkey and Syria as the World Health Organization warns the initial death toll from this disaster could climb 8 times higher. Here in Syria, first responders digging through the rubble by hand, looking for survivors of the worst quake to hit the region in a century.
The situation is too bad. We need urgent help.
Hospitals like this one overwhelmed and preparing for even more patients. More than 6,000 buildings have been destroyed in Turkey alone, and aftershocks are keeping people on edge. A frantic run in this city as a building comes crashing down, sending smoke and rubble into the air. Time is of the essence, with the frigid temperatures lowering the chances of survival for people still trapped. This woman still waiting to hear from her daughter. She says the bedroom was right over there. Countries around the world pledging immediate assistance. An urban search and rescue team from Los Angeles is deploying with medical teams and search dogs, joining another team from Virginia.
They train tunneling, lifting heavy objects, getting concrete off of people. Having the dogs that you see behind me today are live find dogs, so they're trained to find live people under rubble.
This as survivors wait in the bitter cold to be rescued. This man saying, "Speak out loud," as a woman responds, "Help, help." Turkey lies in one of the world's most active earthquake zones. An earthquake back in '99 left 17,000 people dead. But today there is an encouraging number. Nearly 8,000 people have already been rescued in Turkey. The hope is that number will continue to grow. Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
Back here in the U.S. in tonight's State of the Union address right here on KSAT 12, President Joe Biden is ready, we are told, to offer a reassuring assessment of the nation's condition. He'll also be trying to overcome pessimism in the country and growing concerns about his leadership. His speech before a politically divided Congress comes as the nation struggles with economic uncertainty, the war in Ukraine, and growing tensions with China. It's Biden's first speech to Congress since Republicans took control of the House in the midterm elections. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders will deliver the GOP response to President Biden's address. You can watch the State of the Union tonight at 8 p.m. right here on KSAT 12.
The ice has melted, but the lights are still off this morning for thousands in Austin. According to Austin Energy's outage map, about 9,000 customers still don't have electricity after last week's icy weather. Austin Energy's general manager reports they have over 1,000 people working to get those lights back on. The website says based on current information, crews are expected to restore power to nearly all remaining customers by Sunday.
Wow, that's a long time. Well, someone in Washington state overcame steep odds last night to win that estimated $747 million Powerball jackpot. It was the first Powerball jackpot win since November 19th of last year. That winless streak allowed the prize to grow until it stood as 9th largest in U.S. history. Now, according to the Texas Lottery, someone in the Houston area managed to win the consolation prize of $2 million. So now the jackpot for the next Powerball drawing on Thursday has dropped down to $20 million. Big winner in Washington state.
Not bad, not bad. Time now 4:37 and 64 degrees for now.
How much time do you spend in the shower? We'll show you how you can save money by just limiting the amount of time, plus some simple gadgets that can save water and money.
And same story, different verse for the San Antonio Spurs. Started off good last night against Chicago Bulls, but it did not end well. We're going to show you what happened.
Traffic Authority right now. Stephen will be here shortly. We're checking on things at 410 and Starcrest, and there are a few folks out there right now. Just be aware that we might see some rain in the area throughout the morning commute.
That's right. Let's look out there with the live cam. No rain in this shot, not yet. Pretty mild right now, but yes, be prepared for the rain. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. 441. Time for a look at morning sports. Spurs tipped off the rodeo road trip at Chicago last night, looking to sweep the two-game regular season series. First quarter, Spurs trailing by 11 when Blake Wesley hits a corner triple. Moments later, Wesley grabs the defensive rebound, drives back for a left-handed layup. He had 5 first-quarter points. Spurs trailed 39-28 after one, and Chicago led 62-59 at the half. All right, jump now. 2 minutes, less than a minute, or a minute into the third quarter. Jakob Poeltl misses the hook shot. Vucevic falls asleep, and Jak gets the easy rebound and put back. Spurs get within one. Zach Collins passes to Stanley Johnson. He drives, scores, draws the foul to put the Spurs on top. 81-78 after the made free throw, but they trailed heading into the final quarter. Chicago blew out the Spurs from there. Andre Drummond with the putback slam dunk and a timeout. Spurs suddenly trailing 102-88. Timeout didn't work because Drummond scored on back-to-back alley-oop dunks to give the Bulls an 18-point lead. So Chicago wins 128-104, outscoring the Spurs in the fourth, 38-19. This is the Spurs' 9th straight loss.
Collapse down the stretch, mostly due to turnovers tonight. So we're up 3 with 4:05 to go in the third quarter. Things going fine, but then the turnovers come. Third quarter and half the fourth, just in that period, 9 turnovers. End of the game, because neither team shot very well as far as threes are concerned. But taking care of the basketball is important, and we have those games where we do it, and we did it again tonight.
Spurs will play tomorrow night, starting at 6:30 at the Toronto Raptors.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
You're looking at State Farm Stadium, Glendale, Arizona, site of Super Bowl 57 between the Chiefs and the Eagles. Both the Chiefs and Eagles have arrived to begin their big game preps. This game will feature 2 of the best young signal callers in the league in Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts and the Chiefs' Patrick Mahomes at a combined age of 51 years and 337 days old. On Super Bowl Sunday, Mahomes and Hurts will form the youngest Super Bowl starting quarterback matchup of all time. Meanwhile, after announcing his retirement again, Tom Brady now says he'll launch his career in broadcasting in the fall of 2024. Brady says he wants to be fully committed when he starts as a Fox Sports NFL analyst and that he needs time to decompress. Brady signed a reported 10-year, $375 million contract to be their top analyst. But I think a lot of folks would understand that he wants to take a bit of a gap year and go into it fresh.
Yeah, that'll work out for him.
That's a look at morning sports.
Time now, 4:43 and 64 degrees for now. Have you ever thought about how you can save money while taking a shower? Well, up next, some easy ways to lower your bill.
And up next, a warning about scams turning violent when using Facebook Marketplace.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a consumer warning when using Facebook Marketplace.
I was getting very legitimate looking emails.
Sam Silverman posted pants for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and she says a buyer agreed to the price, and then what looked like official correspondence from the payment app Zelle arrived in Silverman's inbox. The email said she needed to establish a Zelle business account and make a $300 initial transfer to the buyer, who would then credit her back the difference. Sam says the stranger never sent back the money.
We've had reports on our scam tracker, items not being what they're supposed to be. In some cases, people sometimes don't feel safe selling and buying in such a public forum.
And coming up at 7 a.m., if you use Facebook Marketplace, we'll have the expert tips you need to keep you and your money safe. With your GMA First Look, I'm Becky Worley, ABC News, New York.
Well, whether you shower in the morning to wake up or at night to relax, it sometimes takes a lot of water.
12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz has some ways to shower smarter.
Mom, I'm taking a shower.
A bath may be relaxing, but at the Brown house, they're shower people.
I typically shower in the morning. It helps me wake up, get in, get out, and get ready for my day.
I like to take quick showers.
I usually shower for 10 minutes at the most.
The average family uses nearly 40 gallons of water a day just showering. That accounts for nearly 17% of residential indoor water use.
You can save a lot of water and energy just by limiting your shower time to about 5 minutes.
And instead of idly waiting for the shower to heat up, go ahead and use that water and brush your teeth. Installing a water-saving shower head makes a difference too. Look for the EPA's WaterSense label. It means your shower's output is no more than 2 gallons a minute. It can help save 2,700 gallons of water a year, and bonus, reduces demand on your water heater. If you're concerned the low flow may be too wimpy,
in many cases you really may not be able to tell the difference. To qualify for the WaterSense label, a shower head has to have certain spray patterns and feel and meet criteria that's at least as good, if not better, than other shower heads on the market.
Hot showers might feel good, but warm water is better for most people's skin. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look out there with TransGuide, looking over at Loop 410 at Starcross. Things look okay this morning. No problems as far as we know.
Yes.
Tapping your tummy there?
I just, play the drums.
Good morning, everybody. All right, so Mike's here talking about, and you said starting yesterday that there would be some rain in the forecast this week.
And so nice, we're going to see some showers around here pretty much late this afternoon, then going into tonight. It's going to be almost more of a nighttime, overnight sort of event. A couple of little sprinkly showers are out there right now. May have a couple of damp spots on the roads. Yesterday, we had just an absolutely beautiful sunset. Got some sun in the afternoon, got us up to 76 as expected, and we were overdue kind of for a good sunset, and yep, it certainly was. Thank you for that picture, Mr. McClellan. And this morning, we are not seeing a lot of the fog that we saw yesterday, and I think that's due in part to the fact that there is a fairly good breeze out there right now. We've got even warmer temperatures, mid 60s, really consistent all around the area. And actually dew points have come up a good 5, 10, 15 degrees compared to this time yesterday. But like I said, there is a fairly good breeze out there right now. Temperatures are going to be pretty steady all morning long. And that 20% chance for, I know this graphic is a shower, but just a little sprinkle out there, a little bit of mist. That'll be the case throughout the rest of the morning. We are not going to warm up all that much. We'll be up to 67 degrees today at noon, then top off at 70. Again, a lot of clouds, and by mid-afternoon, that's when we're going to start to see a few more showers cropping up around the area, and then more will be developing as we go into tonight. Here's a computer model. I think this does a really good job depicting what's going on. Just those few little specks here and there, best way to describe it. Same thing throughout the rest of the morning, up through late morning, and then we get into the afternoon hours. It starts to kind of fill in a little bit more. A few just regular old showers instead of that mist and drizzle and stuff. And that's the case going in toward dinner time. And then notice how a couple of maybe heavier showers will pop up here and there, and that will continue to work its way on through the area. Even a few thunderstorms tonight, especially off to the east. And notice out here, and this is in the wee hours tomorrow morning, we'll continue to have a couple of leftover showers around here through the morning hours, and then we begin to clear out by the afternoon. And as that front moves on through and some of those storms get going later on tonight, some of those could become strong, potentially severe off to the east. High wind, excuse me, and small hail would be the biggest threats out there to the east of us. And again, there'd just be one or two of them out there. That's going to be about the extent of it. As far as the humidity, it stays very humid throughout the rest of today, but here comes the front, here comes the drier air. That's going to move in here. Front is scheduled to move through, looks like 10 o'clock here in town, give or take, obviously a little bit. And then we will get that drier air moving on in here. Clears us out, some cooler temperatures, and then colder temperatures behind a second front, kind of right on the heels of that. Sort of a 1-2 punch with these fronts over the next couple of days. 67 degrees today at noon. A shower or two around the area, a little mist and drizzle this morning. Just watch out for a patch of fog. I don't think a lot's going to be forming up, though. 70 for a high temperature with a few scattered showers around here. Then we go into tonight. We'll have more showers, a couple of thunderstorms. That's going to be the case overnight, mainly to the east. And we'll be at 65 then tomorrow. Cooler start tomorrow morning, then colder Thursday down to 40. Big warm up. Then another front down to 37. That will get progressively colder. So we're going to be starting off freezing by Saturday morning. A lot of sunshine on Saturday, more clouds coming in here by Sunday.
So we could get through the freezing temperatures and have a nice afternoon, though.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Mike, just so you know, I think I'm going to wear a blue suit tomorrow, okay? So we both wore brown today, so
yeah,
blue tomorrow.
Very nice.
You got it?
Okay.
Okay. All right. You look lovely as usual.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome. 452, 64 degrees.
Up next, a first look at a new Matthew McConaughey as Elvis Presley in a new Netflix animated series.
Welcome back. 5 till. Matthew McConaughey voices a karate chopping Elvis, and more spin-off series are coming to a streaming service near you.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Every once in a while, man accomplishes the impossible.
That's Matthew McConaughey as Elvis Presley, secret agent, in the first trailer for the forthcoming animated Netflix series, Agent Elvis. The teaser's got the king of rock and roll karate-chopping bad guys and even walking on the moon. News of the series, which is co-produced by Elvis's widow Priscilla Presley, was first announced 3.5 years ago. Agent Elvis debuts on Netflix next month.
You need me because this is the down and dirty, and I happen to be both.
Look for spin-offs of the Showtime series Billions and Dexter. The Wall Street Journal reports producers are taking a cue from Yellowstone, which already birthed 2 spin-offs as Showtime merges with Yellowstone parent streamer Paramount+. 59 years ago Tuesday, the Beatles arrived in New York to begin their first U.S. tour. And happy birthday to Garth Brooks, the country superstar, 61. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
And time now is 4:57, and we're at 64 degrees for now.
President Biden is set to give his second State of the Union address tonight here on KSAT 12. We'll get a preview how he's expected to address inflation and that Chinese spy balloon.
Plus, how some San Antonio City Council members are trying to help businesses that are dealing with constant construction problems.
So far, so good on the roads right now, at least at this shot. 410 at Starcrest via TransGuide. Stephen Cavazos has an update coming up at the top of the hour.
Live
I'm ABC's Faith Abube on Capitol Hill. The stage is set for President Biden's State of the Union address. What to expect when he speaks tonight to address the country and a joint session of Congress coming up.
Outside with live cam, going to be kind of a dreary Tuesday around South Texas with rain in the forecast. We'll talk to Mike Ostrage coming up in just a moment. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, February 7th.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good day yesterday. The afternoon was pretty, but today we might see some rain.
And starting this morning, Mike says fog and drizzle are a possibility.
Yeah, fog's not a big deal. We've just got so much humidity out there to be on the lookout for it. Haven't seen anything as of yet, but walked out the back door and a couple little drops here and there. Some mist out there, so just kind of watch that. It may make roads kind of damp in a couple of spots, but then you look at the temperature, 64, then the bottom number is 62. Neck and neck, 93% humidity, a bunch of humidity out there, but we've got a pretty good breeze right now. So visibility is, reduced visibility is not a huge issue because of any fog. But like I said, just be on the lookout for that. And then we're not going to be warming up all that much today. We make it up to 70 later on this afternoon. And that's going to be prior to the front moving through tonight. The aquifer yesterday dropped down 0.2 of a foot. And the allergens, mountain cedar is moderate, mold and ash, got 3 of them showing up yesterday, are on the low side. Of course, the updated count is going to be coming out. Easy for me to say later on this morning. I'll get it right. Temperatures are really consistent all around here, and that's a good indication that we've got a lot of cloud cover, a lot of humidity. You don't get any big variations in that situation. And again, these dew points are very, very high. But with that breeze out there, not a lot of fog is showing up. So that's kind of helping us out. And like I said, mountain cedar is on the moderate side. Warm, mist, patch or two of fog possible this morning. And then as the day rolls on, we're going to start to see a few more showers. Couple of them, here and there this morning, a few more going into the afternoon hours, and they'll become sort of filling in a little bit more organized late in the day. And then some storms tonight, and that's as the front moves on through here. And while that front moves through and then pushes to the east, it may create touch off a couple of stronger storms. A little bit of leftover rain in the first part of the day tomorrow. Then we're going to be clearing out. It's going to be cooler. Then we get a secondary shot of cold air for the rest of the week. And we're looking at a couple of more freezing readings around here, especially by Saturday morning. The severe threat is in our extreme eastern counties. That's going to be primarily for later on tonight. High winds and hail are going to be the biggest threats. But again, that's just going to be sort of few and far between. Details for the weekend coming up. Looks pretty nice in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, good morning, Mr. Cavazos. What's cooking?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Well, we are starting off the morning with a clear start on our TransGuide cameras. Let's get a quick look around town, see what you can expect for your Tuesday morning drive. 281 there at Jones-Maltzberger. Not a lot of folks out there this early in the morning. Loved my drive into work. It really didn't see any of those sprinkles out on the roadway, but we are going to keep a close eye on things. Thankfully, no major issues there, but it looks like there could be a stranded vehicle along 281 at San Pedro. Very quiet at US 90, but as we get you to the map, this is a good story here, guys. We really don't have a lot to show you. Lots of green on the screen. Of course, that active constructions those active construction spots you need to be on the lookout for, including the construction zone along St. Mary's where we have that SAWS project going on overnight. So we'll find out an update with them in just a little bit, but let's get you to some travel times. If you are going to be traveling into San Antonio this early in the morning, thankfully we are still in the green. That is the theme right now. I-10 eastbound right now looks like a 25-minute journey from Bernie, 28 minutes on 281 southbound from Bulverde, and 26 on I-35 southbound from New Braunfels. But let's get it back to some nice quiet roadways here in town. 410 at Jackson Keller. Again, not a lot out there, but we'll keep a close eye on things and again have those updates for you throughout the morning. Guys.
Stephen, thank you. 504, we need help. That's the message from businesses around San Antonio as construction cuts into their profits.
Delays have proven to be an issue, and now one proposal looks to increase contractors' consequences and incentives. Our Sarah Costa joins us live in the studio to explain.
Good morning, Steph. Good morning, Mark. So ongoing construction or lack thereof, are those growing pains affecting those small businesses? It's why one city councilman has submitted a proposal to hold contractors accountable to help businesses impacted by construction. District 1 Councilman Mario Bravo submitted the proposal yesterday in an effort to help small businesses dealing with those construction woes. He wants to increase the fines contractors face for missing a deadline. Right now, the fines can vary anywhere from $700 to $2,000 a day. He also wants to give contractors financial incentives for every day they finish ahead of schedule. There is also a proposal to secure funds for the businesses in the area of the construction.
Let's take these daily fines that are accumulating, right? And instead of the city keeping that money, let's give it to the local businesses that are being impacted.
If approved, the changes would likely go into effect by June or July. The application process for a COVID-19 construction recovery grant program is opening soon. That application window is from February 13th through the 28th. So as for those fines or incentives for city contractors, that amount still has not been set. If you are a business that has been impacted, head to KSAT.com where we have a link to apply for that grant program. Mark and Steph.
Sarah, thank you. Let's take a live look right now at the nation's capital. Capitol Hill all lit up beautifully this morning. We're at 6:05 and 31 degrees in D.C. President Biden is putting the finishing touches on his State of the Union address. One of the biggest speeches of his presidency is set to be delivered before a joint session of Congress tonight. It comes amid a standoff with Republicans over raising the nation's debt ceiling.
You can watch the address tonight at 8 o'clock here on KSAT 12. And as ABC's Faith Abube reports, polls show a majority of Americans do not approve of the Joe Biden, the job he's doing as president.
This morning, weeks of preparations for President Biden's State of the Union address winding down at the White House. The president said to be incredibly optimistic ahead of the annual speech.
I talk to the American people and let them know the state of affairs, what's going on.
President Biden is expected to tout a strong American economy on the heels of a better than expected jobs report, making the case that his policies have helped boost job growth, reducing the unemployment rate to the lowest level in 53 years.
The president uniquely understands that we have a lot more work to do when it comes to the economy.
But the latest ABC News Washington Post poll shows despite the administration's positive outlook, voters were concerned about the economy. 4 out of 10 Americans say they feel worse off financially since President Biden took office.
I think it's important we not over-index on any one poll, just like, we here don't over-index on any one economic indicator. When the president took office, the economy was in free fall, main streets were shuttered, millions didn't have a job.
The president is expected to not only highlight his accomplishments, but also call for the kind of unity that led to the bipartisan infrastructure law and Inflation Reduction Act. But he faces an uphill battle as he navigates a divided Congress with a Republican House majority ready to question him about everything from the growing tensions with China, decisions on Ukraine, and the effort to raise the nation's debt ceiling.
The runaway spending of the last few years, it's over. No blank checks.
And we're hearing there'll be a number of special guests at tonight's State of the Union address, including the parents of Tyree Nichols, the man who was beaten to death by Memphis police, and Bono for his work on poverty and AIDS. Faith Abube, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
508, 64 degrees.
And Google announces a rival for the AI program ChatGPT. We're going to tell you when it may be available to the public.
Turning loss into a loved one's legacy. Up next, how the family of a Uvalde victim is keeping her memory alive by helping someone else live their dream.
Let's look out there with live cam. Mild 64 degrees for now, maybe drizzles in some spots, but later we are expecting some rain. We'll be right back.
Tuesday morning, welcome back. Tess Mata dreamed of being a Texas State University Bobcat, just like her sister Faith. But tragically, the 10-year-old was killed in her classroom at Robb Elementary in Uvalde.
Tess's parents, Veronica and Jerry Mata, worked with the university and her sister to create a scholarship in her honor. Now, that scholarship will help a student pursuing a career in the health profession, just like Tess wanted to do. Veronica says the scholarship will allow students to follow the dreams Tess never got to chase herself.
She's got the biggest smile right now because she knows that everybody's watching her and everybody's seeing her and hearing about all the great things that she's done and all the great things that she could have done.
Now, their goal is to raise $25,000. Then the scholarship at Texas State will be endowed for years to come. As of today, they have raised just over $1,500.
512, 64 degrees.
Still ahead, a first look at a Microsoft event that could reveal new plans for ChatGPT and the search engine Bing.
Plus, how Twitter is changing the way your preferences work on its platform.
Sickness can spread fast, but with Lysol, you can go into protect mode. For the things you touch Nothing kills more viruses on more surfaces than Lysol disinfectant spray. And when it comes to your laundry, adding Lysol laundry sanitizer kills 99.9% of illness-causing bacteria detergents leave behind. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
For fast sore throat relief, try Vicks VapoCool Drops with 2 times more menthol per drop and the powerful rush of Vicks Vapors for fast-acting relief you can feel. Vicks VapoCool Drops, fast relief you can feel.
With New Chapter multivitamin gummies, you get so much more than just more nutrients, more research, and more organic ingredients. You also get less sugar, and that means less candy posing as vitamins. New Chapter. That's wellness well done.
Welcome back. Google will soon be testing its own chat AI tech called Bard. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, the artificial intelligence race heating up. Google is rolling out Bard, a rival to ChatGPT, which can write essays and pass law school exams. Google plans to roll out Bard to the public in the coming weeks after testing it with a small group. It's designed to explain complex subjects or provide simple information like party planning tips. Meanwhile, a Microsoft event today is expected to detail plans for bringing ChatGPT and the company's search engine Bing together. A recent report revealed that integration could include a larger search box for chatting as opposed to submitting search queries. Finally, Twitter users may notice a change. The app will now default to the timeline where they last left off, whether it's the For You or Following list. The change is for both iOS and Android users. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Whole team's here.
Yeah.
5:16 on your Tuesday morning. Good morning, Stephen.
Hey, good morning. The commute was pretty nice. Hope you guys had a nice drive in.
Not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad this morning.
Mine's usually fairly short, so.
Fairly short, yeah. You're
on this end.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Like about the back door, basically. So.
Well, tranquility seems to be the theme of the morning. Let's get a quick look around town there at TransGuide. Guys, again, drive has been really nice this morning. Wider look there at the map does show 37 at Jones Avenue. Really not a lot of folks out there, and that's usually the case at this hour. But the morning will get rolling, and we'll see a few more folks out on the roadways, but thankfully no major issues are being reported right now. I've been checking to see if SAWS has posted any update on that closure along St. Mary's as they do that water main repair. It should have wrapped around 5 this morning, so we'll see that work already finished, and folks can drive through the area without any big trouble. But let's go ahead and get you there onto the map. And really what we're going to see right now here is just a lot of green and a few active construction spots. You see a lot of that scattered around the map, but getting you to some information here along 281 yesterday. We told you about some asphalt work that was taking place there. Now we're going to see the work continue a little bit later today, Tuesday, February 7th, and it should wrap on Wednesday, February 8th. 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon is when we will see alternating lane closures in both directions right there at Boulevardy Road. All right, back here on TransGuide, traffic's moving along just fine for now, Mike, but no major issues, so thankfully people can enjoy the drive.
Yeah, and just watch out for, a couple little specks of mist here and there. I had a few drops walking out the back door this morning, not really anything on the roads, but there may be some mist. Nothing is being picked up on radar as of right now. Boy, oh boy, good looking sunset yesterday. I love the reflection there. That's great looking. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. So we don't have as much in the way of, yesterday we had that kind of foggy look, all that haze off there in the background. That's not the situation this morning, but we've got a lot of clouds. And so and the higher humidity is helping to keep temperatures really, really consistent all the way around the area. And we're basically at our normal high right now, and temperatures aren't going to be moving, fluctuating a degree or two throughout the rest of the morning. And that 20% chance for a sprinkle, a little mist here and there. And then as we go into early afternoon, that's when we'll start to see just a few regular old showers here, and they'll become a bit more widespread late in the day. We're going to hit 70 for a high temperature, so not a big swing in temperatures today, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 degrees. That's going to be about the extent of it. And then we'll start to see, like I said, more showers, even a couple of thunderstorms by late in the day. And then overnight, or later tonight and overnight as the front approaches. So computer models got a couple little sprinkles here and there. And then by noon, late morning, a few more showers start to pick up around here. And that'll be the situation going in toward dinner time. Then we start to see even a couple of maybe a heavier downpour here and there. A few thunderstorms, especially off to the east going into late tonight and then the overnight hours. And That will be where the best chance is to see anything potentially severe. We'll have a few leftover showers hanging around here in the morning hours, and then all that's going to start to clear on out, and it's going to be a gorgeous day tomorrow. Now, as far as rainfall estimates, going up 35 in toward Austin, you may see inch and a half, close to 2 inches of rain in and around San Antonio, Bexar County. We're looking at perhaps a half an inch of rain. That would be, I think, best case scenario. More off to the east, lesser amounts further on off to the west. And of course, if there's like one storm that sits there, you'd get some localized heavier amounts. Also, that small chance for a couple of stronger to potentially severe storms off to the east. But again, I think most of those will be further on out of our area. This is going to be into tonight and the overnight hours. Here's the low, which once again, this low coming on in here, unlike earlier in the year where they just stayed a little too far north to do any good. This one's close enough to give us that chance for some rain. So that'll work its way across the area. And then in behind, it's going to pull down some drier air. Then we get that reinforcing second shot of colder air coming on in here. And that's the front that's going to then give us temperatures that will be down right around freezing by Saturday morning. Beautiful conditions. Then the next low starts to work its way on in here. So we start off very nice on Saturday for the weekend, and then more moisture, more clouds come in here on Sunday, and another chance of rain moves in by the about first or so part of next week. So nice pattern we're in. 67 degrees today at noon. A couple of showers around here. We will hit a high temperature of 70, so slightly on the warm side and plenty of humidity. Few scattered showers here and there. More tonight, and then in the overnight hours, especially off to the east, and a couple of decent downpours here and there. 48 tomorrow morning. 65 in the afternoon, so a normal high temperature, and that leftover shower in the morning. Then we clear on out down to 40 Thursday. Gorgeous day. Next front moves through that reinforcing shot of cold air, so mid-30s Friday morning, low 30s freezing Saturday morning. Gorgeous through Saturday. More clouds around here on Sunday.
Not too bad overall, though.
So just be on the lookout, especially off to the east later on this evening for any of those stronger storms. But they'll just be few and far between.
Thanks, Mike.
522, 64 degrees.
Up next, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever sets a new record. Plus, a first look at the Dolly Parton-inspired movie, Seriously Red.
Here are your lottery numbers. Pick 3, 853, Fireball 9. Daily 4, 6932, Fireball 4.
Cash 5, 4, 5, 10, 25, 31. And your Texas two-step, 1, 10, 16, 22, bonus ball 18. Powerball, 5, 11, 22, 23, 69, Powerball 7, Power Play 2. Good luck.
Marvel's new Black Panther movie is doing well on streaming, plus an Oscar award-winning film gets a 20th anniversary release.
CNN's David Daniel has your morning movie news in today's Hollywood Minute.
They called him Kukul Khan, the Feather Serpent God.
A record for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Disney Plus says the sequel is the most watched Marvel film premiere globally in the streaming service's history, based on hours streamed in its first 5 days. Wakanda Forever is up for 5 Academy Awards.
Slick your hair and wear your buckle shoes. And all that jazz.
Speaking of Oscars, Chicago won 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Supporting Actress for Catherine Zeta-Jones. Now it's out in a limited edition 20th anniversary Blu-ray Steelbook, featuring hours of bonus content, including more than a dozen extended musical performances.
Makeup's a little extra. Thank you very much.
You strike me as someone who doesn't stick to things.
This is where I belong. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Baby, I'm burning out of control.
Yeah, you're weird enough. I'll give you that.
Here's a look at Crew Boylan in Seriously Red as a woman who dreams of becoming the world's top Dolly Parton impersonator. Seriously Red debuts Friday in theaters and on VOD. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
527, 64 degrees.
In Washington, the House and Senate are scheduled to have separate hearings on that suspected Chinese spy balloon. We're going to tell you why both parties are actually agreeing on one subject of the investigation.
Lots of new movies coming out this year, and AMC theaters know it, how they plan to take more of your money based on where you sit in their theaters.
And love is in the air and it smells like Cracker Barrel. Okay, well, why you may want to set up your Valentine's Day proposal at one of their restaurants this year.
Does it come with a side of mac and cheese?
I hope so.
This is not the first time and will not likely be the last time that the Chinese have sent surveillance balloons over the continental U.S.
That suspected Chinese spy balloon continues to be a big issue in Washington, D.C., so much so that the parties are actually agreeing on something. What they plan to do next, just ahead.
And let's look out there with live cam, waiting on the rain, but looks like 64 degrees for right now.
It is Tuesday morning, February 7th. Good morning, everybody at home watching. Good morning to our team here at the desk. Hi. Hello.
Yes.
1 week, gentlemen. This is our public service
announcement. Oh, yeah. If you haven't ordered your flowers or made your dinner reservations or anything like that,
I don't have to worry about that. I'm super single.
I'm
not trying to.
There you go.
I'm just
Super
saying.
single.
I mean, my mom's my Valentine.
That's not
Don't forget
single.
Couldn't you do like the narration of a National Geographic? You know, something about the migration of that, and show guys at the grocery store looking at all the cards go, and the rare species, male of the species.
And the the sad annual procession. Maybe not so sad.
Hey, all right. We got it's my turn. We've got a little bit of mist out there this morning, and not much. Just kind of watch out for a damp spot on the road here or there, and then we are going to be seeing more showers developing later on today, as well as going into the overnight hours. Temperature 64, very warm. We're at the normal high right now, and a bunch of humidity. These numbers are running neck and neck. We're not seeing a lot of fog though, because we've got a decent breeze out there. Everybody's really consistent, so you probably, light little jacket maybe. Take an umbrella just to have it handy. Here's these dew points that really went up all around the area, and like I said, a pretty good breeze out there, so that's what's helping as far as no fog developing, but just be on the lookout for it. And as that moisture continues to pump on in here, we'll see just a few more of these little sprinkly showers developing. Mountain cedar, moderate mold, and ash are both on the low side. Of course, the updated count comes out in a couple of hours. 67 at noon, 70 for a high temperature. Again, a few sprinkly showers here and there, one or two just regular old showers. Then they'll start to sort of fill in a little bit more. We'll see more late this afternoon going in toward dinner time, and then more showers and thunderstorms tonight and in the overnight hours, primarily to the east. That's where the majority, or the best threat, I guess you would say, for anything potentially strong to severe. And that's what Storm Prediction Center has for our extreme eastern counties. High winds and hail would be the biggest threats with that. But again, we're kind of on the western fringes of it more, or the better chance the further east you go. Got a couple of fronts moving through here, one tonight, and then another stronger front comes in here just a couple of days down the road. And we're looking at some more really cold temperatures as we head in toward the weekend. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, anything going on yet?
Not yet, Mike. That's okay. We're going to have a good time with this for right now. 35 at San Marcos, maybe just getting a little bit busier there minute by minute, and that's expected as the morning commute does get rolling here. But 410 at Jackson Keller is a really good shot, because really light traffic is what folks can expect this early in the morning. So if you plan on heading out the door, I would say enjoy that cup of coffee or bowl of cereal if that tickles the right area. But, in terms of the morning commute, things are moving along just fine right now. You can see no issues right now on the roadway, but let's go ahead and get you some travel times. I-10 westbound, pretty green from Seguin, 29 minutes at this hour. About 33 minutes if you're traveling along 87 from Lavernia in those northbound lanes. And right now, 27 minutes along for our friends down in Floresville. So really, the commute, again, is very quiet at this hour, but we are keeping a close eye on construction spots. And again, enjoy that cup of coffee at home. You don't really need to chug it. Just, again, enjoy the drive to work this morning if that's where you're headed to. But we're going to keep a close eye on things here in the traffic lab and give you those updates throughout the morning. Mark?
Stephen, thank you. This morning, the death toll from that 7.8 magnitude earthquake and multiple aftershocks that struck eastern Turkey and neighboring Syria has risen to more than 5,000.
Tragedy is affecting those in San Antonio who have a connection to the region. Our Sarah Costa joins us live with what a local nonprofit is doing to help. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Steph. Good morning, Mark. Really a tragic situation over in Turkey. And that local nonprofit is founded by Turkish Americans. It's called the Raindrop Foundation of San Antonio. KSAT spoke with an event coordinator for the Raindrop Foundation. Dr. Ferhat Özerk was born and raised in Turkey. He was alerted of the earthquake as he prepared his children for bed Sunday night. He says his parents and close friends in Turkey are safe after the earthquake, but he knows people here in San Antonio who know people in Turkey who can't say the same. And as the country looks to recover, Özerk feels helpless being so far away.
I
I keep thinking about, should I fly to Turkey to help the people remove the rubbles and save as many people as we can, because it is hard to stay here when your loved ones are, trying to survive under those, brick and mortar.
The Raindrop Foundation is an organization that strives to establish bridges between Turkish and American cultures and communities by providing easily accessible educational, social, and cultural services. The nonprofit is planning to hold a fundraiser and a vigil for those impacted by the earthquake. And if you'd like to attend that vigil or donate to the cause, visit our website, KSAT.com, for more information. Mark and Steph.
Sarah, thank you. A live look at Capitol Hill this morning, where it is now 6:35 Eastern Time. This morning, House Republicans are considering whether to pass a symbolic resolution regarding that suspected Chinese spy balloon. Right now, members of both parties agree this is a serious issue for the nation.
However, as CNN's John Lawrence reports, some lawmakers still differ on how quickly the craft was shot down.
The suspected Chinese spy balloon is grounded, but it's still metaphorically hovering over the United States, especially Washington, D.C.
This is a national security risk. China should not be permitted to do this. It's unfortunate that the balloon was permitted to go all the way across the United States.
President Joe Biden said Monday that the takedown of the balloon didn't damage the U.S.'s relationship with China.
They understand our position. We're not going to back off. We did the right thing. And there's not a question of weakening or strengthening. It's just reality.
According to the Pentagon, at least 3 other suspected Chinese spy balloons entered continental U.S. airspace during the Trump administration.
This is not the first time and will not likely be the last time that the Chinese have sent surveillance balloons over the continental U.S.
On Thursday, sources say the Senate and the House are scheduled to hold separate classified briefings on the balloon.
The Chinese Communist Party is a very real threat to Americans. We have no beef with the Chinese people. It's about the continued provocation by the military apparatus and the Chinese Communist Party.
For Good Morning San Antonio, I'm John Lawrence.
A new study shows people who have 1 or 2 alcoholic drinks a day can lower their risk of developing dementia. Researchers found those who said they had 1 or 2 drinks a day consistently over time were up to 21% less likely to develop dementia than people who never drank. However, doctors say don't rush to the liquor store just yet. Alcohol consumption can still be a risk factor for breast and other cancers. They say drinking too much can actually increase the risk for dementia as well.
Control of Disney's Orlando area theme parks may soon go to a board chosen by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Republican lawmakers have now filed a bill that would give the governor new authority over the state's largest employer. It's the latest in a year-long spat between DeSantis and Disney over a bill to restrict certain classroom instruction about sexual orientation and gender identity. DeSantis signed the bill into law over the objections of Disney's then CEO Bob Chapek. Democrats criticized the legislation while stopping short of endorsing Disney's unique arrangement in Central Florida. The bill is likely to pass the Republican-controlled legislature within the next couple of weeks.
Time now is 5:38 and it's 64 degrees for now.
If you're thinking about getting those great middle seats, next time you go to an AMC movie theater, it's going to cost you more. We'll tell you when AMC is changing its seat pricing.
And you need a great backdrop to propose for Valentine's Day? Well, forget the Tower of Americas, forget the fancy Riverwalk. How about the ever romantic Cracker Barrel? We're going to tell you why you might want to say yes next to a big bowl of mac and cheese.
And outside with live cam, Mike says yes, pack the umbrella for today and then be alert tonight. We'll explain coming up.
And welcome back. It's 5:41 in your morning consumer headlines. Soon you'll have to pay more to get the best seats at AMC movie theaters. The movie chain says it is introducing new ticket pricing options that depend on where you sit. For now, there will be 3 options. First is standard price, which AMC says will be for the most common seating. If you want a seat in the middle of the theater, you will have to pay a premium. If you'd rather save money and get the cheapest seat, well, then craning your neck in the front row will now cost less than a regular ticket. First, the new pricing will roll out Friday in New York, Chicago, and Kansas City, but it is set to hit all AMC theaters before the end of the year.
I'm really going to sell this next story. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, think of the most romantic restaurant ever. Yeah, you're right. It's Cracker Barrel. At least it thinks it is. And I'm a fan. The restaurant chain offering a Valentine's Day giveaway this year. 5 lucky couples have the chance to win free Cracker Barrel for a year. Here's the catch. To have a shot at the tantalizing prize, each couple will need to get engaged at a Cracker Barrel location. Interested couples need to post a video of their Cracker Barrel proposal to Instagram between February 10th and 16th. The post needs to include the caption that explains why they decided to propose at the iconic restaurant, along with a hashtag I said yes at Cracker Barrel and hashtag contest. There's a lot of fine print here.
My goodness.
Candidates also need to follow the restaurant's official Instagram account and then look forward to that hash brown casserole for a full year with your beloved.
Well, there you go. You're set. And here's further proof people really love their cats. A special Valentine's Day package from Fancy Feast is now sold out. The Cuddle collection has a snuggling sweater complete with ears on the hood. It also has fuzzy socks, heart-shaped toys, a wine glass, and of course, Fancy Feast cat food. The price was about $62 and no word on whether they will restock. For pet lovers who want an alternative, the Fancy Feast website still has downloadable Valentine's Day cards.
So food for thought for Valentine's Day next week. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. There's options.
Meow. 543, 64 degrees.
Let's look out there with TransGuide. I-37 at Jones Avenue and I-37 at Southeast Military. Things are moving this morning. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's 5:46.
Yes, it is. Let's check in with Stephen Cavazos. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Well, thankfully, things are still moving along just fine here on TransGuide 281 at Jones Maltzberger. Maybe just seeing a few more folks out there. We're getting closer to that 6 a.m. hour, which is usually very busy here in town. But thankfully, there's no need to rush out the door this early in the morning. We aren't really seeing any issues that are being reported by KSAT at this point. But you can see right behind me that we're just getting a little bit busier out there on the TransGuide cameras. But getting you to the map, we do have a lot of those active construction zones that we want to make sure that you're aware of before you have to head out the door. So let's talk about what's taking place here along I-35. This is over along the northeast side of San Antonio, likely part of the Northeast Expansion Project. So I know a lot of folks are already kind of have those headaches when they drive down 35. So just be aware because this may add to a little bit of stress for you. It should end on Thursday, February 9th, at least a portion of it, but it is overnight. So that's some good news. But watch out, late night owls, early bird commuters, because it should wrap around 5 in the morning. We're going to see a right lane closure on the southbound frontage road of I-35. That's between Whirlwind Drive to Randolph Boulevard. But head over to ksat.com/traffic for a full list of closures. But thankfully at this point, we're really not seeing anything else out there. It's calm. We did have a stalled vehicle. My friend at TransGuide was able to update me on that, but it looks like that may have already cleared out. Things are just moving along.
Okay.
Yes, Mike.
Question.
Yes.
Back to the movie theater.
Yes.
And the seats and all that.
The new dynamic pricing, depending on where you're sitting.
If you buy the good seats,
yes.
Does that guarantee people around here aren't going to talk?
That's extra.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm. And what's worse, them talking about the movie or just something in general? You know, like
something in general. I mean,
I know.
Yeah, that would really just grinds my gears.
Just thought I'd throw that out there. So, what a sunset. Speaking of sunsets,
yeah,
look at that. Yeah. You guys didn't have much to say about the movie thing, did you? Or why, are you talkers?
Yeah. I've been lucky. Usually the audio is pretty loud in the theater, and I don't really hear anything else around.
Also true. I'm a good shusher, but I know you're shocked by that.
All right. Yeah, it was a gorgeous sunset yesterday. We did get plenty of sunshine in the afternoon, a little more than expected. Some of those clouds still hanging around here. Plenty of clouds, and at least we can see the skyline. So we're not seeing any fog really developing. We've got very warm temperatures. We're at the normal high right now. We've got a ton of humidity out there, but we've got also a decent breeze. So that's what's helping to prevent a lot of the fog from forming. Just kind of keep that in mind. But as the moisture continues to get pumped in on the south to southeasterly winds, we'll start to see a few more little spots of some mist, a little bit of drizzle, perhaps here and there. There's not anything showing up on radar right now. So if it's out there, it is definitely on the light side. But we keep that chance in throughout the rest of the morning. Steady temperatures all morning long, and we're not going to be seeing any sunshine today. We'll make it up to the mid 60s today at noon and then top off at 70. So not a huge warm up either. And then as we go into the afternoon hours, up the chance for some rain. We'll just start to see some just regular old showers instead of that mist and drizzle. Those will be scattered around the area. Maybe a couple of claps of thunder, but most of that is going to be waiting until later on tonight. Here is a different computer model than would have been shown earlier this morning, but pretty much the same solution, where we've got by noon, early afternoon, a couple of more showers that are going to be popping up around the area, a few more by dinner time. And then as we go into the evening hours, as the front approaches, even a couple of spots with, again, a clap of thunder here or there and a decent downpour. And then going into tonight, especially to the east of town, we'll start to see some of those thunderstorms. And what's interesting, too, is this particular model in the overnight hours wants to have a little bit of energy left over back out here in the hill country with a few of those thunderstorms. So that will be something to keep in mind. Again, this is going to be in the wee hours of the morning and still a few of them left over right around this time tomorrow morning. Then that will all continue to work its way off to the east, and we will start to clear on out. But it looks like we're in store for pretty much a kind of a wet commute by tomorrow. The majority of the rain is going to be up I-35 in toward Austin. Some of that in parts of the hill country. Here in town, we're looking at maybe a half an inch of rain. Obviously, you get one of those storms to sit on top of you, you're going to get a little bit more, but this is going to be kind of the broad brush, lesser amounts down to the south and to the southwest. And of course, there is the chance, and this is going to be late tonight and early tomorrow morning, for some of those storms to become strong or potentially severe, with high winds and hail being the biggest threats. And that's going to be pretty much confined off to the east. 67 degrees today at noon, a couple of showers. And then we'll start to see a few more developing as the afternoon rolls on. 70 for a high temperature. Then we go into tonight, and we'll have some showers and a couple of thunderstorms, and that's going to be the case overnight. We'll have the front move on through here. 48 starting off tomorrow morning, so it's going to be a chilly morning, and then it's 65 in the afternoon. Closer to normal temperatures, then down to 40 Thursday, nice big warm up. Next front moves through. This one comes through dry, and it's going to pull in some pretty chilly air down to 32. Will be freezing on Saturday morning, so good hard freeze once again in the hill country, but good looking after tomorrow morning once we get rid of some of that rain. But once again, great to have some rain too.
Yes, that's nice. Well, not freezing rain. So
no,
that's good too.
Nothing like last week.
Thank you, Mike.
5:52, 64 degrees.
One of the biggest movies of all time sells back into theaters this weekend as Titanic celebrates its 25th anniversary. Up next, we hear from director James Cameron about the re-release.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we're live in Turkey with the latest on the devastating earthquake and the death toll rising there and in Syria. Also, the new details on the Chinese spy balloon, what we're learning about its capabilities as crews work to retrieve all the parts, and the new warning about buying and selling on Facebook Marketplace, how you can protect yourself. That and so much more right here on GMA.
Listen to me. I've got you. I won't let go.
Titanic is celebrating its 25th anniversary with a theatrical re-release. The film debuted in North American theaters on December 19, 1997. The slight delay to the anniversary release is likely, and rightly, due to James Cameron's latest blockbuster, Avatar: The Way of Water, which arrived in theaters just 3 days before Titanic's anniversary.
It's interesting to have a film that's 25 years old that people still want to see and still want to go to theaters to see. That's very gratifying that the film has been embraced by the zeitgeist, not just in its moment, but generationally. And I think people know instinctively that the theatrical experience of the film will be more profound, more powerful. What do we want to do these days? If we're going to go to a theater, we want it to be kind of a sure thing. We want it to be something that we know is going to be extraordinary. You know, so Top Gun, right? Spider-Man, We have water, We know these are going to be extraordinary experiences. To get us up on our hind legs and into our car and go through all the hassle and the parking and the popcorn and all that sort of thing.
You jump high, jump right.
And I think Titanic is a kind of an evergreen that makes that promise. You're going to have an experience.
Seeing it again in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, less than 1 day's worth of blood. That's all the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center has right now. If you'd like to donate, you can do it later today. There'll be a blood drive at Frost Bank on West Houston Street from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Well, still to come in the next hour, GMSA, a preview of tonight's State of the Union address. We'll have the latest in a live report. And checking TransGuide right now, 281 at Jones-Maltzberger. Looking good out there. Highway 90 at Couples. A lot more traffic out there. We'll talk to Steven coming up.